Sorry for the interruption, but I think this will be also be little valuable. So what we were discussing was, so we were talking about main product and byproduct. So if I expand my inner universe with little change of intent, the universe has lot more things to offer to us. Universe has everything. It's we want to open the doors, and this small understanding opens the inner doors so that much more. So it's something like this, that everybody has the same time available 24/7 into whatever years. Everybody has similar breaths. But how can one get maximum out of this available time frame or this available breaths of our life without having any hard work? So this is the inner understanding which changes your inner universe first, inner world, and that is reflected into the outer universe. So this one small thing I shared with you, and if I have to share with this all the other people who are advanced in journey, then probably I have to share something that if I understand the science of life and living, one part is a relative part, mind, speech, body, my name, belonging, and attachments and karmic bonds and its functioning, and the energy connected with it is also helping it. Now what about my real self or true pure conscious or Atma? Are they two separate things or are they intermingled? Can they go parallel? And the answer is, if I realize my true self by its innate qualities or innate virtues, whatever you say in science, every element has the existence. It has its own inner innate, means inbuilt attributes or qualities by which the element is known, and it has its functions. So if I know that, okay, my pure self or true self has its existence, has its own qualities, has its own function. Similarly, Prakriti also, mind, body, speech also has its qualities. It also has its functionality. It also is. And if I know both differently, then both will go parallel. This will also be working good, and my inner self bliss will also go on increasing, and that's quite possible. And parallelly, both can go as the two wings of the verse. So I was fortunate to get that into that experiment, wherein the qualities of relative self or Prakriti and qualities of the real self, means true self, were given to me, and 1 hour experiment, it puts us into such an inner state of being or pure conscious state of being. So at the end of that, some covering layers which are not allowing me to experience, not allowing me to have the doubtless conviction, awareness and experience of the true self, they are shattered apart. So once I have seen that it's something like that, there's a diamond in a dummy. Once Harshad Bhai shows me there's a diamond, and then he closes the dummy, but the diamond always remains in my dhyan. So similarly, once I've tasted the bliss of my inner self, true self or real self or Atma, whatever you say, then it persisted forever and it started growing. And to take it further during the life, just 5 simple sentences were given to me. So with those 5 sentences, the journey continues. And then I tallied with all the scriptures available, with all the wisdom available, with all the teachings available. And I could satisfy myself that this is the essence of everything, or everything is into this and this is into everything. So all the things buried in the scriptures, there is a indication or guidance towards the journey. But after that, the Vedas say at the end of 4 Vedas, the experience is not into this. You can get the guidance of the journey, but for the experience you need somebody who has experienced it and who can guide you. Something like Dr. Subhasji, he guides the students. Students become expert very soon or can experience. So here, I was fortunate to have that introduction to that journey way back in 1977. And today also, those who so wish, I think this is the easiest way available. And not only easiest, but it gives results. So it's known as the result giving experiment or science or whatever you say. And more than that, it does not ask for any external renunciation, it does not ask for any hard penances, does not ask for vrata japata. If you are doing, if your prakriti is tuned for that, it's okay. But there is no inevitability or no inevitable requirement of that. So with 2 hour simple experiment where the qualities of relative and real, by that the inner experiment, it's known as initiation, is done, and then 5 simple sentences to follow it. Then it is up to one's own that how further and how one wants to experience or take it ahead. So that is what my, please, now we are over here, please open the questions.
Dr. Shaileshanandji, beautiful and inspiring remarks by you. I have a question related to something that was in the news yesterday.
Yeah.
Apparently, one senior vice president of the Ambani empire, one Dr. or Mr. Prakash, whose salary was 75 crores a year, he has taken sannyas. He and both his wife have taken sannyas.
I also came across that.
Yeah, so my question is, how does one look at somebody who's done it? And would you also recommend that to people like us? Maybe he's younger than me. And do the husband and wife both have to take it? Like Prakash Shah and his wife have taken sannyas.
Yes, so very good. So I also came, somebody sent me also. In a digital world, one thing is very beautiful, any news, good or bad, spreads to the world really well. So I also looked at it. First and foremost, to have the little detailed understanding of that, see what made him to live his all glamorous, successful, highly successful, relative living, 75 crores. And he had a n number of things that is on his end. So here is one thing, that there are 2 types of happiness, or 2 types of, one is relative, another is real. Now the relative is dependent on the circumstances, that's also fine. And suppose we are given more than we expect as a salary, he must not have expected even a few years back or in his childhood. So nature has given him more than what he must have required, more than required prestige, status, relations, everything he had. But at the end of that if we look within, still there is something missing. We feel something is missing, something more than this is needed. So it doesn't give the ultimate fulfillment, even whatever we have, in whatever extraordinary achievements we have related. It is welcome, it's not negated. It's relative is also good. So what is more than that? So he was in search, or he must have been influenced that, okay, beyond this there is the bliss of my real self. So in search of bliss of inner self, whatever path he found, he may be benefited by, so he went on according to his whatever, his inner self must have, I would say, inner self calling. So he opted that, okay, this is too much, and now let me go in quest of my inner self or true self, where I can have the most. If the relative happiness has this nature, that despite having more than required, you feel something missing, something more, there is some inner unrest going on within you. It doesn't give you the final blissful state of being, and some fear may be there lurking at the back of the mind, that today my health is good, tomorrow no, today nobody, no children are there to take care of us, and ultimately the fear of death also doesn't leave us, no matter it is not now, but some corona, the whole world was gripped by that fear. So if that is there at the other side of the bank of the river, there should be something which can give me the ultimate fulfillment. No, this is it. It should be free of circumstances. It should be independent of circumstances. It would give me the inner freedom from the inner unrest and freedom from all the types of fears, including the fear of death. So the scriptures, and we term as the bliss of the real self, Paramanand, which is non-dual. The relative has duality, happiness and unhappiness. The real has no dual word. Permanent doesn't have any dual word on the other side. So everybody is sort of seeking at this level. And there are two types of people who seek it. More people seek that out of distress and discomforts and unpleasures. There are few lucky people or few highly thinkers or whatever. They seek at the height of the luxuries and comforts and achievements. That now what is more. And in the history also, if we see the all enlightened people, they had much more. They were born in the as a son of kings. They have everything, but then they said, what's more than this? In pursuit of that, they went in. Now, the second thing, what is required to have that inner self, true bliss experience? Is it required to become monk or nun as they chose? It is not inevitable. It is one path, but without that, also it can be obtained. Second part, does becoming monk or nun guarantee you the inner experience of the inner true self? Probably not. So what is required then? That what is the most important? So most important is not the outer renunciation, but the inner realization. And if we see in each scriptures, whether we take Gita, whether we take Jainism or anything, see they took the path of Jainism.
Right.
But unfortunately, I have studied a lot after this, much more. Lord Mahavir used to give 4 sentences as the inner vision diksha. And these 4 sentences were ego me shaso appa gnana dansanam sanyo. That they were in those types language, it was Pali and other Mahavir. The meaning is only my true self or Atman is permanent or eternal. It has the basic quality of Gnana Dansanam, to know and to see, to know and to perceive are the most basic important qualities of to recognize myself. Shesha me bahirabha, what is all other things? All others are extraneous or exterior to me. How can I recognize the external or exterior things? Sauve Sanjoga Lakshana, those who have the beginning and end, circumstantial, changing, temporary, they are not in me as a true self, but they are exterior to me. So if we think, what are all these? My body is the first circumstance, is conception to death. It has a finite duration, it comes and goes. Today it is 100, within few years it may be 150, 200 by scientific, but then it has a beginning and end. So whatever has beginning and end, whatever is circumstantial, whatever is changing, is not my true self, it is not in me, it is external to me. That's what Mahavir says. Sauve Sanjog Lakhana, Sanjoga Mula Jivena, because the living being caught them as my or mine, Patta Dukham Parampara, the misery started. Tamma Sanjog Sambandham Savam Tivenam Vasrami. So my wrong belief of believing them, my I and mine into that, I am surrendering to your lotus feet, so I will know that I am Shailesh, but by relative viewpoint I am Shailesh. This is my body, but by relative viewpoint this is my body, this is my house. But by relative viewpoint it is my house, by real viewpoint I am the true self, full of infinite knowledge power, full of infinite perception power, full of bliss. Unless the person has this vision, the external diksha only doesn't work to lead to the inner full experience or realization. So what is first important is the understanding or vision of the true self. Then both of you remaining together in your house can be having more experience than the Prakash Shah or his wife becoming monk or nun. Now your second question was whether both should take together or not. So my suggestion is, so I understand, we are humorously talking, I know both of you since long, so I'm fine with, so that's how I can talk heartily with you. So, see what happens, Prakash Rao was lucky that both of them agreed, okay, both of us will take the Diksha. Most of us are not lucky. If you want, she will pull you back. If she wants, you will pull her back. So don't go into that entanglement. Have the inner understanding or correct vision. The relative will continue as it is, and you will have the true experience what you are trying to achieve or what he is trying to achieve through that Diksha. So, see, what has happened when the enlightened persons are there, they give you the